Last week was not so bad. Um, I eventually ended up with 80 points, and I'm back to second on the Banter Premier League. But then I don't settle for second. It's losers that settle for second. My goal is to be the first on Banter Premier League. And that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be setting up a very, very good team that's going to get me a lot of points. And if you want to have as much points as I am, as I'm going to have, because I believe myself, you can set up your team like mine. And if you don't believe me, just look at my ranking. I am ranked 3 to 4% of the people playing this thing in the whole world, and it is 10 million people that are playing this thing. So if I set a team, my team must be good. Just believe me. Just believe what I say. I'm not bragging. Actually, is there. You can actually check me out. Even those guys that have big platforms, they never tell us what their position is. We know that if we check them, they are like probably ranked like maybe number 1 million or something. But then I'm not going to brag. Let's just go into the team and what I selected. All right. For game week 20, let me see the fixtures that are there in game week 20. So we have Spurs and Newcastle, Aston Villa and Leicester. We have what we are going to play. Most of the time, I don't concern myself with the small teams because most of my players are never from the small teams, except a few. Majority of my players are from the big team. So the only thing I have here is the only big match we have for this game week is Liverpool and Man U on Sunday. So now let's just go into my team. Don't let me just bore us with unnecessary details. So now the reason why I select my keeper, I'm using Wolves keeper, and but then they are going to be. I'm using Nottingham Forest keeper, but they are going to be playing Wolves. So, but I don't think this keeper will be able to keep clean sheets because Wolves actually have good attackers. That's Strand Lassing, Kunha, Abikunia. I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. So I'm not really expecting much from my keeper, but if he gives me points, fine. Hallelujah. So in my back, actually in my defense, I have Gravido. Naturally, I always use fullbacks for my defense. Fullbacks because they are likely to give assists. But in this defense, I'm using Gabriel. The reason why I'm using Gabriel in my defense is because of Arsenal defense is actually good. But this season, ever since um, Ben White has gone on injury, Arsenal have been finding it difficult to keep a clean sheet. However, even with the difficulty in keeping clean sheets, Arsenal is still like the second best team in clean sheet. Arsenal has like 7 clean sheets this season. And then Gabriel is a goal scoring defender. He's likely to score. And with the fact that Arsenal has become set piece FC recently, so most likely you can Gabriel is likely to score for you. So Gabriel is a good choice. But just like me, I'm sure a lot of people have selected Gabriel. So choose Gabriel as your defense. Despite the fact that Man City is struggling, I'm still sticking with Guavidio because he's most likely to give assists or even score. So, and he's a defender. So, I'm going with Guavidio. Robinson, I started using Robinson because I checked defenders that are on form and I'm using it. And so far, he's been manageable, he's been okay. All right. So, in my midfield, obviously. But if you are not going for Mo Salah at this point, I don't know, you are foolish. That's just what I'll say. If you're not having Mo Salah in your midfield now, you're foolish because a lot of people have Mo Salah, and not just have Mo Salah, you captain Mo Salah because the numbers that Mo Salah is actually pulling is crazy. So I have Mo Salah. The reason why I'm even this low in this game is I actually doubted the fact that Salah was going to do something for me. I removed my captaincy from Salah. I regret it. Like I really regret it. Like the 3 occasions I actually removed the captaincy, I've regretted removing the captain from Salah. So everybody should have Salah. Palmer, he has if Chelsea is going to do something, that Palmer is going to be involved. So Palmer, Mbomo has been superb this season, and I have my reasons, and you're going to see he's been consistent, like week in week out. He has always, giving. If he has always, giving goal and assist. I think at least in 11 games, Mbomo has actually performed. So I'm sure a lot of people also have Mbomo. Now the only thing I have here that is out of the blue is Martinelli. The guy that I put here before is Madison. Madison was the guy I was using last week. But the reason why chose Madison was because I know Tottenham are just useless team. Everybody knows that. But one way or the other, Madison always have a goal and an assist. But ever since I just chose that guy, they have not been starting Madison. So he has been useless. He was useless for me for the two games that I used him. So I sold him and I got Martinelli. The reason why I used Martinelli is because Saka is already injured, and I was trying to look for a midfielder, but I couldn't determine the midfielder that because I don't watch other. I only watch majority of big match, and I check by form. Most midfielders, I'm not so sure what they're going to give me, so and I use informed midfielder, so I just go with Martinelli because if Arsenal is going to do something, I know Martinelli will be one way or the other. He will be involved, so I'm going with Martinelli. Now in my attack, I don't think except for Isak that I brought in like 3 weeks ago. There's nothing new here. I am going with Isak, Wood, and Nicholas Jackson. So with this, I believe that I'm going to have good point, and I'm going back to that first position. Uh, you can take you can take from my wisdom. You can take from my knowledge, from my wisdom or knowledge or whatever. Hopefully you also have good points, and then we'll see. We'll see. I hope I'm not crying at the end of game week 20, but I know I'm not. I'm here because I am in the top 3% or 3 or 4%, 3 or 4%, something around that range for a reason. It's because I'm very good in this game. I told one guy like I'm really good in this game, and we shall see. We shall